When you are a Black person, a Black woman, society and systematic oppression make you feel like no one cares about what you accomplished and that you need to always stay on your toes. If we celebrate, there's always something in the back of our heads telling us that it could be taken away or we don't deserve the fruit we bear because we are not worthy of hitting that glass ceiling, whatever that means, that we see so many non-people of color hit.
Welcome to Wine and Liberations, the podcast that uncorks the world of fine wines and explores the art of living a liberated life. I am your host, affectionately known as Dee. I am a wife, mother, business owner, and I am thrilled to be one of your guides on this captivating journey.
And I am your other host, Dee Professor Bae. I am a mother, college professor, writer, and creator. Grab your wine, relax, be yourself, catch a vibe, and let us guide you as you get liberated. All right, welcome to episode 3.
Got to 3.
Yeah.
This is going good.
We're trucking along.
I love it.
So welcome. Let's talk to the start of episode 3. Here's to set the wine and the recording of this podcast.
I love our toast intro. It's like probably the best part.
Yeah. So now that we're toasting, give us a fact. Let's just jump right in. Give us a fact about wine. Sometimes wine has such, people turn their nose up. So give us some positivity.
Well, this fact that I discovered is why I have people coming in by the masses. Okay. So if the red wine starts flying off the shelves, they need to cut us a check.
Okay.
It is a known fact that a glass of red wine after dinner every night can reduce the risk of heart disease. I will say women lead the masses in heart disease, and a lot of us are dying silently because it's a silent killer. Mm-hmm. So I'm raising my glass to health and wealth and getting rid of that goddamn heart disease. So cheers to you, okay?
Cheers. A glass a day keeps the doctor away, huh?
It does. And I tell my kids all the time that it's a smoothie.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's grapes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So you get your fruit with it, too. So, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So, top tier.
I'm enjoying my daily smoothie. I might have 2 at a time, but that's me caring about my health at this point.
Absolutely. And I'm with you. That is amazing. Yes. Celebrating yourself. So let's get back right into this topic. Something that's been kind of on my mind and I've been hearing bits and pieces here and there, but celebrating Black women. So yes, Black women learning to celebrate themselves. And I was actually reading this article and I want to share something. This is a quote by a Black professional woman that was being interviewed about her self-care and how she celebrates herself. And this is what she said. When you are a Black person, a Black woman, society and systematic oppression make you feel like no one cares about what you accomplished and that you need to always stay on your toes. If we celebrate, there's always something in the back of our heads telling us that it could be taken away or we don't deserve the fruit we bear because we are not worthy of hitting that glass ceiling, whatever that means, that we see so many non-people of color hit.
Oh, wow. On so many levels, that is so deep. I will say a lot of us do not celebrate ourselves enough. We do walk into our accomplishments with the narrative and the language. That's what we were supposed to do. So I'll even speak to myself. I had my son at 19 in college, and me getting this degree and my master's or actually obtaining my career goals. That's what I was supposed to do. Because how else do you want to take care of your baby? If you don't do these things, then you don't put yourself where you should be in order to take care of your child or your family.
Mhm.
But even to look back in my 20s, I didn't clap for myself enough. My son seen me walk across the stage twice with a bachelor's and a master's. He's seen me get a certification. He's seen me get a job and relocate to Houston. He's seen these things, but not until I got into my 30s did I take the time to look back and just say, girl, like, if nobody else is going to toast to you, toast to yourself. If nobody else is going to clap for you, clap for yourself. And so I probably enable myself because I feel like I deserve everything now. If I want my designer bag, guess who's gonna go get it? If I want to splurge a little bit on something, guess who's gonna go get it?
Mhm.
Because I deserve it. And that is me clapping for myself. And not until I clap for myself did I heal that pressure of society side of myself, that I no longer felt like I had to just keep up with the Joneses.
Mhm.
My accomplishments were for me,
Uh-huh.
and I'm the one that worked for this. I'm not doing this because that's what society said, or the pressures of a family said, or me being a single mother, that's what I needed to do. I finally started, when I clapped for myself, my self-care came a little more peaceful. And in that process, I started to love me more, because I stopped being so critical of myself.
Anonymous. So
Mhm.
with implementing that self-care into your life. That's interesting. So it's safe to say you didn't grow up, you weren't taught that particularly as a little Black girl to celebrate yourself. You were taught to accomplish things, and accomplishing things is celebration enough. Would you say that?
I agree. I
Okay.
agree. My mother has done very well for herself, but I remember the narrative of like my grandfather. Like, well, if you don't do what you need to do, this is the type of house you live on. We used to, growing up in Florida, we used to drive down the turnpike and see these beat up old shack houses. Okay.
Mhm.
And so my grandfather was like, if you don't go get a job, if you don't get an education, that's where you want to be living. So
Fear,
yeah.
fear.
So in my mind, I couldn't live there because I mean, now who's gonna live there? So I needed to do these things. So these things weren't something accomplishments; they were necessities to put me where I needed to be. So yeah, I thought, yeah, oh, fear, yes,
Mhm, mhm, and a lot of
yeah.
times, yes, we accomplish things out of fear of lack. Many
Mhm.
Black women come from a place of lack. They don't think abundant. They don't think abundantly. And so when you're in that constant state of mind, like, if I don't do this, then I'm not going to have this.
Yeah,
And so it incorporates a certain fear into us to want to accomplish these things. And then when
yeah,
we accomplish these things, we don't stop and clap for ourselves. It's like, oh, okay, I did that. Okay, next, what's next? I know for me personally, like you, I did not start to celebrate myself until well into my 30s.
yeah.
Um, I've accomplished so much, and I never just stopped to take the time to say, "Wow, you have done so much." Sometimes you see yourself praying for certain things,
Mm.
and getting in a certain spot in your life, and then not even you're so busy trying to accomplish something else that you don't even realize you're in the midst of those answered prayers. Like, I
Yeah,
need to be here, and I didn't even take the time to acknowledge what it
and say thank you.
to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Say thank you to yourself. A lot of times that's another thing. We thank other people. And yes, yes, yes. You should always thank people if they help you in some sort of way.
Yeah.
I think it's important to stop and thank yourself for even being in the position to get those accomplishments.
Well, to even dive deeper, because now that you unlocked this Pandora box,
Mhm.
um, I think even in my 20s, if I wanted to celebrate myself, my spouses that I chose within my 20s did not allow that. I
Mhm.
remember one narrative was this, oh, you think you're better than everybody else, so you have to
Absolutely.
brag. or one of them was like, okay, like, why is that such a big deal? So I did not have the safe space, even in my relationship, or somebody that wanted to celebrate me with me. So again, you just keep going because I mean, I was in a relationship that didn't clap for me. So I didn't have that space to say, go, Dario, keep going. It wasn't until I got out of those relationships and then I was in my 30s trying to find myself that I had to learn that I had to celebrate and clap for myself. So then as I was in my 30s looking for a spouse, one of those requirements was somebody who's going to celebrate me. So if you are not here to celebrate me, you can exit the party because I have the balloons, I have the cake, I found my champagne. Are you going to celebrate with me? Because if you're not, or if you look at my accomplishments as a threat to your manhood,
Yes.
then I won't be able to do those things.
And that's a great point. That's a great point. Not just with romantic partners, but just being in spaces as Black women where it feels uncomfortable to celebrate your wins and your accomplishment because the people around you don't celebrate. They don't understand it. They don't know how to do that. And so if you're in these spaces, your celebration comes off as if you're bragging and like you think you're arrogant and you think you're better than other people. And so, yeah, even being in that space, so even if you wanted to celebrate, I know as Black women, we've been made to feel like celebration equals bragging, and that's not the case. That's not the case at all. So what are some ways that you've learned how to celebrate yourself in both your professional and your personal life?
I would say the biggest thing is I celebrate daily. Because to reflect and look back, I'm exactly where I have made so many sacrifices to be. I am that woman. I'm evolving into the woman that I've dreamed of becoming. I'm putting myself, I'm intentional in the spaces that I'm putting myself in. And even these spaces that I'm putting myself in, these are nothing but other Black women who are celebrating themselves. So the more I can celebrate another Black woman with her, I'm celebrating for my inner self as well. I do it daily. Sometimes I just go window shop around Target and let Target tell me. And then if I see the candle, I'm like, guess what? Who deserves a new candle today? I do. I do. You did extremely well in that meeting. You killed that presentation. Guess what you need? Guess what you deserve? And I don't know. Well, that's a good question. Self-reflection. I think besides the daily intention of reflection and you saying, you know what, you're doing a hell of a job, Dario. Clap for yourself. I don't know how other ways I would say. Ooh, I might need to add that to my list of our ways. What are some ways you celebrate yourself?
I have definitely been intentional about being in the moment. Because for me, I can't celebrate these small wins if I'm not present mentally, emotionally, in that space to even recognize that I have accomplished something. So number one for me is being present, like being aware, like you are in this moment. Stop. Take a minute. Where are you? Where did you want to be? What have you accomplished? That's one of the ways, and I'm very intentional about my self-care too. I've made self-care a big priority in my life, and so that allows me to feel comfortable with celebrating myself. So and it's hard too. And you know, something that also made me celebrate myself, which we probably don't think about. I know I didn't think about, is I actually started like really budgeting. I want to buy a house. And so I've been on this really strict budget. And so just looking at my finances, looking at all of the things that I have to take care of monthly, looking at my income when it comes in, that has allowed me also to like celebrate myself. Like, girl, wow, you've done all this month and you have the ability to do this. That's something to be celebrated. And I have a financial advisor, another Black woman. And And we were going through my budget, and she said, well, where's your money for you? Where's the money that you have set aside for you? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like my savings? What do you mean by that? She's like, well, you have all of this allocated for your bills. You have this allocated for your son. You have this allocated for savings and traveling. But where is your personal? And a light bulb just went off in my head, and I was like, I don't have one. I mean, of course, I go get my nails done. Of course, I, buy things for myself, but I buy it when I want it. It's not like set intentionally month to month to month to month, like everything else. And so that was kind of like a light bulb moment for me. Like, wow, you do all this work, you take care of all these responsibilities, but you don't take the time to actually have a fund set aside for yourself, like an actual fund. So
I don't think I have one either. I mean, I have my nails allocated.
but she, according for her, that's not enough.
I have my massages allocated. I have my, liquor fun or go out. I like to do different festivals within the city. So I have that, but you're right. Like, where's the one like just for dairy?
Yeah, and that was like a light bulb moment for me. And I'm like, I know so many Black women that you don't have that. Just literally, where's my money for me? Of course. And another thing that you said is getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting a massage, that's maintenance. That should be separate from your you fund. So I was like, what? I thought, so the whole time I thought
that was
wow. No, especially and she mentioned like and it doesn't have to be a lot of money, or you don't have to be in a position where you make a whole lot of money to do this. It could be, you could start very, very small, $10, $20, just setting it aside for yourself. So,
well, see, we all just walked away learning something new. So now we'll start in September. In September, I will now start allocating a fund for me. Okay.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
What is your financial advisor? Is she accepting clients? If anybody wanted to get in contact with her, how could we get in contact with her?
She is. I would have to give you her email. And this is a shameless plug. She doesn't know I'm plugging her. But I'll put her email. I don't know off the top of my head. I'll plug her in the notes. So I'll put her in the note section on YouTube when we post it and stuff. So I'll have those notes there. But I have some tips on how you can learn to celebrate yourself.
Well, we're all for it. What tips?
So the first tip is being able to express yourself. So being a Black woman involves navigating the complexities of your identity, but stopping and taking that time to realize who you are and being able to express yourself. Another one is community and sisterhood. So building this community of Black women that celebrate themselves, recognizing and appreciating others. So, yeah.
Well, that one I have by far. So, cheers to that.
Cheers.
I know we talked about it in a previous podcast, is my identity got lost as being a wife and a mother and a career woman. And then if you ask me, well, what did I do for fun? I couldn't even answer you anymore because I'm like, me and my family like to, or me and my husband, but it wasn't what Darielle wanted to do and the spaces Darielle wanted to occupy. So once I had that coming to, as people like to say, Jesus moment, I became more intentional about the spaces that I put myself in. And so I've been able to create those environments with other successful African-American women to have that safe haven, to just let my hair down and just be who I was when I didn't have a care in the world, when I didn't have responsibilities, when I wanted to, rap Trina from beginning to end and not be judged. Like Trina's voice, like that I wanted to put myself back in that space. And so now I've been so intentional that every weekend I have like an event to do. And I love that because it's giving me my balance of personal wife, mother, and then there's me. And I'm getting to accomplish these things all within a 7-day period that like my mental health now, I'm sleeping better. I don't feel so stressed. I love a little more on my husband. I don't feel like I'm being suppressed as who I am as a person and as a woman. Now I'm not gonna act like it just came like second nature. It's taking work to balance it. But I truly feel complete now. Before I felt like I was missing something. So now that I have that completeness, I'm able to talk and respond in a different space. So I love that for me. And I love who I'm becoming. So it's been good.
Yeah. Yeah. And another good thing that I've been incorporating is I'll stand in the mirror and I'll say 3 celebratory words to describe myself. So,
And what are your homes? Well, how do you describe yourself? What are your 3 words?
I am abundant.
I like that.
I deserve to be here.
I like that.
And my third one is you are accomplished. So you have done the work. You deserve to be here. So just speaking positivity into myself has been amazing.
I do it too. My 3 is I am enough. I am resilient. And then I always speak one of love. So I am of love. I am love. I am in the process of, but I always want to accomplish the loving, nurturing side of me too. So it depends on the week.
Yeah.
But I always make sure I tell myself I am enough and that you are resilient. You are more than enough and you are resilient. And then depending on the week, I might switch it up. But I do like to say I am love. I am of love. I'm encompassed in love. Love reaches you no matter where you are. And my last week was the same one that I deserve to be here. So when I walk in the space, you are deserving of that space. So when I hit that door, when I hit that meeting, when I hit this audit, because I'm in audit, I deserve to be here. So yes.
That is amazing. Yeah.
So I do want to add another one of these, a book.
Okay.
I always have to get my book.
Okay.
One of the books that I was reading that kind of taught me more to align with that and to make sure that I was speaking positively of myself. It is called The Secrets of the Six-Figure Woman.
Okay.
It is by Barbara Stanley, and she speaks just of that. It's how you speak of yourself when you walk in these spaces, because you're going against men. So men, a lot of times, in their tone to women, is very condescending. And in this book, she reassures you, regardless of how people are perceiving you or how you are being received, this is how you think of yourself. And when you think of yourself like this, it'll ooze out of you. And yes, it might have rubbed some shoulders wrong. It might offend some people. But it reminds me of the Maya Angelou poem, "Does my haughtiness offend you? Well, you take it by surprise." So she speaks to that. You speak of yourself. And then when you walk into these spaces, it's going to come out.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes out as it is. Like, you don't have to remind yourself, because here I am. I'll just sit here. Why are you offended?
Yeah. Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah. Amazing.
That is my book of the week. Get it? The Six-Figure Woman. That is definitely a book that's on repeat, replay. Sometimes I have to run it back because you have to continually pour into yourself. And even with the celebration, even if you feel like it's been a rough week or it's been a week that you're like, "Ooh, I haven't been my best," you made it through, and that is the celebration.
Yes.
That's what we're celebrating.
Yes.
You made it through.
Yes. Yes. And that is enough. That is enough. So I'm going to leave us with a short affirmation. And that is, may I experience something abundantly good today. and tomorrow. May I experience something abundantly good today and tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. I love it. So since we're still speaking about it, do you write your affirmations on your mirror?
Yes. I have affirmations in my closet. I have affirmations on the mirror. I have affirmations on my laptop when I'm working. So I have affirmations all over the place.
And do too. The more you see it, the more you're around it. Yeah, if you walk in first thing in the morning, get a dry erase marker, a tip for the girlies, write that thing on there.
Yes.
Write it on it. So if that's the first thing you see in the morning is your affirmation. You speak like into yourself.
Yes. Write the vision and make it plain.
I love it. Continue to celebrate yourself and others will follow suit. If not, you will create an environment and a tribe that is going to help you celebrate you. So if they're not celebrating you, that means they don't need to be there.
Bye.
So if you're looking for your sign,
Get off.
right.
If you're looking for your sign, should you hold on to that relationship?
If he's not celebrating you, he don't need to be there. That's your sign.
The friendship, the whatever, because we're celebrating over here. So
Look, cheers.
cheers to celebrating.
Yes. Every day, all day, 24/7. Even on Sundays. We're celebrating the Lord, but we're celebrating ourselves too. So.
Yes. Bye.